Some Major League Baseball. Hopefully we can keep it up as once again we went 19 10 and 1. Was it yesterday? Yeah, 19 10 and 1 for Sunday's action on our leans. So let's try to get some more of the same here today. Let's begin with the Cardinals taking on the Nationals. 7:05 Eastern first pitch in the nation's capital. Washington opened the betting as the $1.50 favorite, heavily favored here in this matchup. Total open at 8 runs. And since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing steady two-way action when it comes to the money line. We did see movement upward on the total up to 8.5. So once again, the Nationals open and remain minus 150. Total open 8 up to 8.5. 61% of the consensus is leaning toward the Cardinals. 54% is shaded toward the under. Right now, St. Louis is plus 130 on the money line. Washington plus 145 on the run line. We have Michael Wacha for the Cards. Patrick Corbin for the Nationals. Wacha is 1-0 with a 4.64 ERA for St. Louis. And for Washington, Corbin's 2-0 with a 2.48 ERA for the Nats. Now, if you like the Nats in the spot here, they are taking on a red-hot Cardinals team. St. Louis is 7-1 straight up in their last 8. They're second in hits on average in the league. Washington, on the other side, has dropped 3 out of their last 4, and they're striking out on average 11 times per contest at home. Now, total-wise, St. Louis is 5-2 to the over in their last 7 on the road. Washington 6-2 to the over in their last 8 taking on St. Louis, if you're into historical trends. So with all that in mind, not a bad price point here on the run line. I'm going to take St. Louis plus 1.5, getting the job done on the run line, and the over 8.5 in that game there. Next matchup, Reds, Mets, 7:10 Flushing, Queens. New York opened the betting as the $1.45 favorite, total at 8. And since those markets opened this one up, not seeing a whole lot of movement on the total, although we did see a 10-cent move toward the Mets. They're now minus 155. So once again, New York open 145 up to minus 155. Total open at 8 and remains at 8 flat. 56% are leaning Mets, 61% shaded toward the over. Right now, Cincinnati's plus $1.40 on the money line. Mets plus 130, laying the run and a half. We have Tanner Roark for the Reds, Zach Wheeler for the Mets. Roark's 1-1 with a 3.24 ERA for the Reds. Wheeler's 2-2 with a 4.85 ERA for the Mets. Now, if you like the Mets in the spot here, just keep in mind that Cincinnati is 8-6 against the spread away from home this year. And of course, as I always explain, when I refer to the spread in Major League Baseball, I'm actually referring to the run line. So once again, Cincinnati winners in 8 out of their last 14 run line plays away from home. They're also second in runs allowed. Now the Mets on the other side, well, they're second to last in runs allowed. The other team's really scoring a lot of runs against them. They've also lost 3 out of their last 4. Now total-wise, the Mets are 70% to the over in their last 10 at home. I'm going to lean toward another road dog in this one. I like the price point. Give me the Reds plus 1.5 and the over 8 runs. Next game, Athletics, Red Sox, 7:10 Boston. The Sox open the betting as the $1.45 favorite, total at 9. Just a nickel fade of Boston on the money line down to 140. Once again, the Red Sox open 145 down to minus 140. Totals at 9. 64% are leaning Boston, 67% shaded toward the under. Right now, the A's are plus $1.25 on the money line. Boston plus 130 on the run line. We have Montas for the A's, Rodriguez for the Sox. Montas is 4-1 with a 3.10 ERA. Rodriguez is 2-2 with a 5.88 ERA. Boston is just 2-4 in their last 6. 5-7 at home this year. They're also 26th in runs allowed. Now, when it comes to the scoring, Oakland is 12-6 to the over in their last 18. 3 in a row. Another road dog for me. Give me Oakland plus 1.5 and the over 9 runs in that matchup there. I promise we won't continue to do this. I didn't take all dogs, so don't change that channel. All right. Next game, it is going to be Padres, Braves, 7:20 Atlanta. The Braves open $1.35, total at 9. We're seeing a 15-cent move toward Atlanta up to 150. So once again, the Braves open 135 up to minus 150. Totals at 9. 53% are leaning San Diego, 71% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Pods are plus 135 on the money line. Atlanta plus 130 on the run line. We have Marjavicius for the Padres, Soroka for the Braves. Marjavicius is 2-2 with a 3.60 ERA. Soroka is 1-1 with a 1.69 ERA. If you like the Pods in this spot here, they're winners in 5 out of their last 6. They're also 4th in striking batters out on the road, averaging 10 strikeouts per game in that category there. Now, Atlanta on the other side is just 21st in runs allowed. They're also dead last in walks allowed, putting a lot of runners on base. Now, total-wise, Atlanta's 80% to the under in their last 5, taking on San Diego if you're into historical trends. So we're going to finally take an under instead of our 3 overs we opened up the show with. But we're going to take the under in this one, but I am going to lean toward another road dog. And like I said, I promise I'm not picking straight road dogs for the entire slate. But I do like San Diego in the spot here, plus 1.5 in the under, 9 runs in that game there. Next matchup, it is going to be Houston Twins, 7:40 Eastern first pitch in the Twin City, Minnesota. Houston opened the betting as the $1.75 favorite, total at 8. We're seeing a lot of movement in this one. Actually, a 20-cent fade of Houston on the money line down to $1.55. We also saw movement upward on the total up to 8.5. So once again, the Stros open 175 down to minus 155. Total open 8 up to 8.5. 58% are leaning Houston, 71% shaded toward the under. Right now, Minnesota's plus $1.40 on the money line. We have Justin Verlander slated for the bump tonight for the Astros. Jake Odorizzi for the Twins. Verlander's 4-0 with a 2.61 ERA. Odorizzi's 2-2 with a 4.37 ERA. Now, Minnesota has won their last 3 straight. They're also 7-2 in their last 9. They are 3rd in scoring at 5.6 runs per contest. Houston on the other side, 19th in road scoring at just 4.1 runs per contest in that category there. The Astros are also 4-5 straight up in their last 9. Now, total-wise, Houston's 5-1 to the under when Verlander starts. Give me Minnesota plus 1.5 and the under 8.5 runs in that game there. Next matchup, Rockies, Brewers. And that is going to be a 7:40 Eastern first pitch in Milwaukee. Milwaukee opened 130, total at 9, 15-cent fade of the Brewers down to $1.15. Once again, Milwaukee opened $1.30 down to minus 115. Totals at 9. 52% are leaning Brewers, 53% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Rockies are minus 105 on the money line. Milwaukee plus $1.65 on the run line. We have Freeland for the Rockies, Davies for the Brewers. Freeland is 2-3 with a 4.23 ERA. Davies 2-0 with a 1.65 ERA. Milwaukee's 2-1 in their last 3. They are 6th in home scoring at 5.64 runs per contest. Colorado on the other side, 26 in road strikeouts. They are striking out 10.6 times per contest in that category there. Now, total-wise, Colorado is 10-6 to the under away from home. Milwaukee 17-12 to the under overall for the year. I'm going to lean toward a home favorite for once. Give me the Brewers minus 115 and the under 9 runs in that matchup there. Next game, Orioles, White Sox. Exciting one here. 8:10 Eastern first pitch at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. Chicago opened 135, total at 9. We're seeing a nickel fade of the White Sox on the money line and movement downward on the total down to 8.5. So once again, Chicago opened 135 down to 130. Total open 9 down to 8.5. 65% are leaning Chicago, 54% shaded toward the under. Right now, Baltimore's plus $1.20 on the money line. Chicago plus 150 on the run line. We have Means projected on the bump for Baltimore. Banuelos for the White Sox. I'm going to lean White Sox getting the job done at home here. Give me Chicago minus 130 in the over. 8.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. 8:15 Eastern first pitch at Kauffman Stadium. Tampa Bay open $1.25, total 8.5. We are seeing a nickel fade of Tampa Bay down to 120. So once again, the Rays open $1.25 down to minus 120. Totals at 8.5. 53% are leaning Tampa Bay. Right now, the Royals are plus 105 on the money line. We have Stanek on the bump for Tampa Bay, Keller on the bump for Kansas City. Stanek comes into today's game with a 1.32 ERA. Keller's 2-2 with a 3.41 ERA. I like Tampa Bay on the road here. Give me the Rays minus 120 and the under 8.5 in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Dodgers Giants, 9:45 San Francisco. The Dodgers open as the $1.40 favorite, total at 8. We are seeing movement on both the money line and the total in this one. 10-cent move toward the Dodgers up to minus 150. We also saw movement downward down to 7.5. So once again, Los Angeles open $1.40 up to minus 150. Total open at 8, down to 7.5. 56% are leaning Los Angeles. 81% shaded toward the over. Right now, San Fran is plus 135 on the money line. Dodgers plus $1.15 on the run line. We have Kenta Maeda for the Dodgers. Jeff Samardzija for the Giants. Maeda's 3-2 with a 5.20 ERA for the Dodgers. Samardzija's 2-1 with a 3.00 ERA for the Giants. Now, if you like the Giants in this matchup here, they are taking on a Dodgers team who's won their last 4 straight. They're also 7th in road scoring. Meanwhile, when it comes to the total, San Fran is 17-11 to the under overall for the year. Give me the Dodgers minus 150 and the under 7.5 in that matchup there. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. Once again, got to remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. Link is in the description section below. We've been doing absolutely incredible in our MLB leans over the past couple of days. So tonight on Patreon, you might see a baseball game as one of our daily best plays. But anyway, check me out, patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, thank you for watching this free content right here on YouTube. I love YouTube. I love my viewers. I love getting back to you, to all the commenters. So thank you for watching this free program. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free information. And as always, don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.